What's up guys, it's Michael here. In this video, we're going to talk about why investing is single-handedly the most important decision to make to escape the financial rat race. There's a bunch of topics debating now between why the income inequality is, substantially growing within the population. Why they're saying now is why the rich is becoming richer and the poor is becoming poorer. But, here's the thing. If you look into statistics, there's a reason why it's happening. And second of all, they say that's happening, but they don't list all the facts. They tell you basically a half lie and a half truth. And they say they want the lawmakers to change this, to change that, but in reality, at the end, they're actually benefiting themselves. They're trying to make you vote for them, which is extremely disappointing. They don't explain to you how does economics work, how does the tax laws work, how does all of these things work. And you look at it in school, no one even teaches it, which is, even more disappointing. And I'm here to tell you the truth today. It's because of investing. You can make as much money as you want working a job. At the end, you're still gonna be a slave. As I mentioned in my previous video before, there is the slaves category, basically people working for society, paying off their taxes, and in the end still working, no time. And you have the rich category. Great, you own a business. Maybe you're working an extremely high-end paying job, like a doctor or lawyer is paying like over $500,000 a year. But at the end, you're still working every single day. You don't have the decision making. You can do what you want to do. Then you have the wealthy category, which is, as they're saying, is growing. And there's a reason why. If you guys want to change that law, then there's only one way to do it. You have to play the game. If you don't play the game, like I said earlier in my previous videos, money talks. You have no money, you can spout all the crap you want, and at the end, nothing will change. So we're going to break down why investing is the key component, why there are so many wealthy people, and there's the rich category, how they are trying to reach the wealthy category. So I want to get this straight is because schools don't want to teach this. They don't want you to become wealthy. And the reason why is, here's just going to break it down. So as you see, you got to break it down into two parts. There is capital gains tax. So there is two parts. There is the short term and there is the long term, and why they are making such a big difference. So a short term is anything you make that is sold under 1 year. And there's anything you make for capital long term gains tax is anything you hold more than 1 year and you sell it. And those things are not taxed until it is sold. Let me repeat it. It is not taxed until it is sold. So this includes stocks, bonds, jewelry, real estate, and other accessories. So basically the list goes on. And what you need to know is basically if it's sold under 1 year, basically you're subject to multiple types of taxes. This includes anyone being paid by hourly and anyone who's working a job. This even includes business owners because they're still being paid by whatever commission or whatever time they spend. But here's a trade-off. If you start doing investments, as majority of the topic is on financial today, is like how stocks work, how real estate works. Those things are considered capital long-term gain tax because most of the time you will be holding that more than a year. So that's why I say on my previous videos, patience is a virtue, including persistence. If you have spare money to invest, you hold it long enough, you can basically qualify for that specific type of tax bracket. The reason why short-term gain is basically for you just not to make enough money for investments. So short-term gain, basically they're made to drain you. But whatever money you have left, if you put in a long-term gain, that will actually make you more money because investments at the end, their goal is to make you more money, help you escape the financial rat race, help you pick whatever lifestyle you want to choose. And the reason why is when you look at the tax bracket for short-term gain is basically they charge you by whatever your income makes. So some states charge zero income tax, and look, that's actually really good. But in reality is they're gonna get you elsewhere. For example, you look at Texas, compare to California. Yeah, there's no income tax, right? California has like 13.3%, and majority of people are around the 9.5, 10%, and include all sales tax and stuff. But Texas, yay, there's no income tax. But guess what? Look at their property tax. It's 1.69, somewhere around there, in the upper ones. And that is extremely high. That's how they get you from that. They also get you from other things. So basically, Basically, if you're making majority of your money from capital gains short term, you're basically losing. But here's the trick. In capital gains long term, so if you make basically within $80,000 or less, you actually get charged 0%. Zero. It's $80,000 or more based on your stocks, your bonds, the list goes on. Even real estate, anything hold longer than a year. Once you sell, it's considered capital long gains terms tax. 0%. Donut. 80 grand or less. And this will vary between you're married or you're single, couple, divorce, etc. But still, I know the highest one is 80 grand. So 80K or less, 0% tax. Hear me out. It's pretty interesting. But if you make more than 80K, so $80,001, all the way up to around 400, I believe 469 or $496,000. Let's make it like $500,000. So from 80 grand to $500,000, 500K, you get taxed 15%. All right, I mean, that's still better than majority of taxes all racked up today. So in capital gains tax, long term, 15% if you make between 80 to 500,000. Anything you hold longer than a year, okay. Here's the catch. If you make more than 500,000, about more than $500,000 going up, so you basically, if you sold your stocks, you made, let's say, $2 million. Maybe you bought in low, maybe you consistent investing. You bought all your stocks and now it's worth more than $2 million, maybe going up to $5 million. Here's the catch. You get taxed at only 20%. That's the cap. It doesn't go any higher. So basically, if you make more than 500,000, you make 1 million, make 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, even $100 million profit in stocks, and like real estate, you're only gonna be taxed for long-term capital gains at maximum 20%. It doesn't go any higher. Yes, that's that insane. So the reason why the wealthy are getting more wealthy is because they invest. So you gotta understand. The reason why the schools don't teach you this is because they want to keep you poor. And the reason why is because the upper levels don't want to tell you how does the system work, financially work. So you got to look into this, break it down to two parts. First, you obviously got to have a job. Your business, if you be a business owner, you have more flexibility. So more money you make, the more money you can throw investments and more money you can use for, your fun time, necessities. But investment at the end, anything you hold longer than a year is considered capital gains long term. So the more money you put into capital gains long term, the more money to make out a profit after you sell, because you don't get taxed until you sell it. Once you sell it, then you qualify for whatever tax bracket that is for capital long term gain. So long term gain is the reason why the wealthy are becoming more wealthy. And the reason why the poor are being more poor is because no one's teaching them how to invest, and no one is teaching them there's two types of categories when it comes to taxation. So capital long term short gain, that is basically, you can make money from that. Don't get me wrong, you still make a lot of money, but there's a lot of chokeholds right there. They'll grab onto you. So if you do investing instead, there'll be a lot less restrictions. So you think if you want a tax on the wealthy, put on the capital long-term gains tax, but they're always gonna generate the loophole because those are the people writing the laws. So if you don't want to play the game, then don't play the game. You're always gonna be, poor, sadly. Hate to break it to you. If you want to play the game, there it is. The video is be listed down in the description below on the article explaining even more in detail than what I'm explaining between the brackets. So the reason why investing is most important is because if you want to escape the financial rat race, you don't want to deal with all the crap you have to deal at your workplace, that's the way to go. So, and to put more money in investment, you have to basically be working too. Owning a business, because owning a business will accelerate that process, amount of money you can put in investing. And investing itself will help you realize your dreams and goals sooner. So in the theory at the end saying why do the rich become more wealthy and the poor become more poor, and people say, income inequality, is because they don't understand how financially the system works. And this is the reason why it's written like this. So if you want to play the game, make sure to please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in my channel. Peace.